Two brand new cavalry heroes are here, but which one will lead your charge? And who should stay behind? Let's break it down with the strategy, skills and some spicy takes. If you like aggressive cavalry play, this is going to be interesting for you. And I'm going to start with Lieh-Shan Yen skill overview. And this is the first skill he is having. Scarlet Inferno, rage cost 1000, this is obviously attack range near, deals diffused damage, so most likely is hitting, AoE damage to the target and one legion near it, and giant passion, rage accumulation speed plus 15% for 5 seconds. Of course, this skills is something that is maxed. As you can see, this hero is awakened, so it's going to be 700 the skill damage, and the rage accumulation speed is going to be 5%. For level 1, this is going to be also for rest of the spells. The impression that this hero is giving me is we start seeing more and more AoE damage dealers, like this cavalry hero. Also Urak is doing AoE damage, but here we start seeing evolving of the cavalry. We start seeing some AoE, more AoE damage, rage accumulation speed, especially for example like heroes like Emrys, he's also having rage accumulation speed. Bakshi, if he proc, also can get rage accumulation speed. It's extremely important, and keep in mind, if you strike a ranged legion with your cavalry, you're going to get full 100% rage and you're going to strike immediately with your rage skill. Now the damage for generation 4 is not looking like something crazy, it's 1.5k, same like Emrys from the season 1, you also have like 1.5k, but still this hero from the first spell is also giving this rage accumulation speed. The second spell is Iron Quad Defense. We already know that Iron Quad is for infantry, they already have this thing. And when they get hit by Rage Legion, they have some percentage to add 5% reducing normal attack damage from the ranged legions. But here we have Iron Quad Defense for a cavalry. But this is not for open field, as we can actually see. Increase the Garrison army HP by 5% and ignores 5% of the enemy defense where garrisoned in city or stronghold. Also, as we can see, this hero have a Garrison tower tree, so we're going to speak about the Garrison, how good most likely this hero is going to be for the Garrison later in this video. But so far this Garrison skill that is not going to support you that much in open field. The next spell is Lieh-Shan Command. It's a passive one. Legion cavalry units get 20% physical attack and 10% defense. We already know that every hero in Call of Dragons has some kind of passive skill where it just is boosting the attributes of their legions. From point is it that much, 20% I think is a fair, and defense bonus 10%, so this is a great example for increasing the little of survivability and increasing the attack. The next one is very interesting since it's supporting the rage skill, the skill tower tree this hero is having, and this is when entering in the battle or casting a rage skill, increase hero skill damage do. So we already know heroes like this, and I'm going to give one example like Bakshi, who is also having a skill tower tree, and increasing the hero skill damage is absolutely great, especially when entering in the battle or casting a rage skill. Now rage skill, especially for the ranged legion, is going to happen immediately, so I think this is also very nice spell. And the awakening is when joining above via hero skill ignores a portion of the enemy attack at time. Now this is a great for, for survivability of the heroes, and I think Call of Dragons slowly is going in this direction, increasing the hero survivability, presenting with some more healing so your legions can stay more on the battlefield, and like this you're going to get bigger reports in general. Now by hero skill buff I can actually give, for example, shield or increasing the march speed or whatever. Everything that a hero is doing and is buffing your legion is going to trigger this awakening. Now from first look, this hero for me personally, Lieh-Shan Yen, is looking a very solid cavalry hero, and I think a lot of people is going to use this hero as a commander, especially for the skill tower tree. This is one of the things. The damage is not something wow, but this rage accumulation speed, even though that rage accumulation speed, especially if you strike a ranged legion, you just don't need that much rage accumulation speed. Right now people are building cavalry legions that is one-shotting a single retrieving from the battlefield or going to the battlefield legions, but still this one is going to hit like 2 targets and is going to continue, especially if there's like 3 or maybe 4 enemy range legions and you catch them. Obviously, rest of the legions is going to start attack you, so this is, I think, a good spell. I think this hero is a very decent one. Of course, I'm going to speak with the top cavalry players in Call of Dragons, especially for these two cavalry heroes. But from first look, honestly, for me, I think this hero is going to do a great work. Now we know he's strange. Let's see how the Neya is going to stack up. She is elegant, deadly, and boy oh boy, full of surprises. And I'm going to start with her skill overview. And the first skill she's having is Spearhead, which is attack range near, deals physical damage to the target legion, damage factor 1.7k. But keep in mind, this hero is awakened. We're going to also go over the awakening of this hero and get 50 extra rage every second for 5 seconds. So in total, for 5 seconds, she's going to generate 250 rage, which is like 25% more rage. So from here we see the first synergy or the first pairing for these heroes, and this is this hero with the Lieh-Shan Yen. And this is something also that we see more and more in Cavalry. In general, the Cavalry start getting more rage, they're hitting the Rage Legion and get 100% rage. The Cavalry, somehow the game built the Cavalry around rage accumulation speed. You have rage accumulation speed again from Bakshi Emrys and so on. But yeah, this spell right here, I really like it. 1.7k is way better from 1.5k from the previous hero. And this extra rage, I think, I don't know if I can actually compare it with this 15% rage accumulation of speed, but it's a decent one. 25% rage for 5 seconds. This Legions is going to just go there and strike. And immediately after this, they're going to have rage for a second strike. So I really like the rage skill of this hero, of the Neya. The next spell is Moonlight Blessing. Legion ignore 10% of enemy HP. When in the field, the Legion is not in the battle, it becomes camouflaged. Now this is very interesting, and first time we see this thing in Call of Dragons, camouflaged. Maybe I have some suggestions. Maybe going to be like this quack that is giving you invisibility, but still, if it's on the field and it's not in battle, very interesting. When entering in the battle camouflage in a camouflage state, it ignores 20% of the enemy HP for 10 seconds. Now the normal bypass is going to be 10%, and you're going to also get extra ignore of the enemy HP. Now additional HP bypass, I don't know what this is, 1000%. 1000%, bruh. But anyway, I think we're going to start see Roach on the battlefield. This is going to be something like a new strategy in Call of Dragons. This is my personal opinion, just by looking over this spell. Of course, this spell needs to be tested, definitely. But if you have a cavalry that by default can go in camouflage and the enemy cannot actually see it on the battlefield, even though when you're using the quack of stealth, if you're close to the enemy, there is a big chance he actually see you. And yeah, they can basically see you. But I'm not quite sure. Do you have to move or not? When in the field, if the Legion is not in battle, it becomes camouflaged. So you can move and in same time going to be camouflaged. It's not something like sitting on one place to achieve this camouflage. Definitely this thing needs to be tested. And I think the top alliances is going to be the first one that is going to test that. But still, I think this may bring some new strategy in the cavalry play. Especially for this type of hero, and it's going to be only for this type of hero because it's the only one that is having camouflage. So we may see like 20, 30, 50 people with this specific hero ambushing enemy legions on the battlefield on specific places with just this hero. But at the same time, this actually can break the already established cavalry strategy that people are using, cavalry main players. I'm definitely going to speak with the top players about this camouflage, and definitely this thing needs to be tested, but I really like it. I really like when in the game is presented a new mechanic. So yeah, GG on this spell, I really like this one. Let's go on over the next one. A frontline commander, increase Legion cavalry units skill damage by 10%, HP by 10%, and march speed by 10%. Now it's extremely rare to see the game give a hero that is boosting 3 different stats. Normally it's like 2 things, like, you know, attack, defense, maybe HP and attack, something like this. It's mixed, but here you see skill damage bonus can go up to 10%. I think it's a good thing just because the cavalry have they have decent rate skill damage from a season 1. The biggest damage in season 1 is from Emrys, 1.5k instantly hitting, also with mobility damage. So this hero is looking like an Emrys. I really like Emrys, not gonna lie. But yeah, GG on this spell, I really like it, especially skill damage. And the game know that you're going to strike most of the times Rage Legion, so this is going to be very helpful for doing more damage over this type of legions. The next spell is Silverwood Lynch, skill enhanced spread head. So this is basically the awakening. Yeah, as I mentioned before I start with this hero, that you have to wait to see the awakening. This is the awakening. Normally this hero by rage skill is doing 1.6k, with awakenings is 1.7k, so it's something like 100 extra damage factor. And yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this, but the next thing is actually a good one. From 40 extra rage every second to 50 extra rage every second. This is like 50 rage for 5 seconds, which I think, you know, there's heroes that have crazy awakening. Like for example, Lilia. Lilia, if you awake her, she's going to add one more target legion. So from 2 legions, she's going to strike 3 legions with the Scorch and everything there. But some heroes don't have that great awakening. I think this awakening is a pretty decent one. I really like it, especially for the damage factor. Now, we cannot go like 2k damage factor or 100 extra rage. It's going to just make these heroes unbalanced. And I think the game actually know that, and they tried to put a new hero with just a little better things from the previous one, so there is not going to be some crazy disbalance in the heroes. And don't forget, if this breakdown helped you to build your legions, hit one like and subscribe for my channel. You can also become a member and get shout out in my next video. And yeah, if you're interested in Call of Dragons content in general. Now let's check out the pairing between these two heroes. We already saw that Neya is giving 50... I'm going to start with the pure damage. These two heroes is doing pure damage. Now, Lieh-Shan is doing pretty decent rage accumulation speed and skill damage factor, but also is adding 1 extra legion. So you see one of the heroes is hitting 2 legions, the other one is a single one. We already see this difference with Thunderlin and Telea. Thunderlin is hitting a single legion, Thunderlin is hitting multiple legions, Telea is hitting a single one. Also, Tobin is hitting multiple legions, Tobin is hitting a single one. So we're going to start seeing more and more this type of things. But as normal, what is happening in Call of Dragons, we're going to see these two heroes very nicely built together. When the game presents 2 heroes, they're trying to build these 2 heroes to work the best together. So far, this is like 99% from the cases in Call of Dragons. Maybe I can give 2 exceptions, and even one of the exceptions is not actually exception because it's a decent one. Goresh Skogo and also Mogro Goresh or Goresh Mogro. I think this, you know, you can make some switches there. And the other exception is Thunderlin Telea. I'm not quite sure who is using Telea. Most of the people is going to replace Telea with maybe Thea, maybe Muxiang, who knows. But in general, I think these 2 heroes is going to work absolutely perfect together. And I have a question for you. Let me know in the comments below. What is your dream cavalry pairing right now in Call of Dragons? And finally, as I promised, I'm going to speak about this hero. Is this hero actually good for the Garrison? As you can see, for the Garrison, he's gonna get like increase the Garrison army HP by 5% and ignores 5% of the enemy defense where Garrison in the city and stronghold. Now, for first look, we don't need to test that much, okay? Nobody wants to test a Garrison. Nobody wants to test a Garrison. But yeah, still, I think it's going to be a good one, even though we already have Theodore. And I think Theodore is one idea even better, just because is having this HP bypass from the rage skill like 20%, and also having some extra things as a Garrison hero. If I remember, he was having Garrison like 99% sure, but still, this hero may also be a good fit there. Or maybe we may. So far, people are using Mogro Goresh. I think this is going to continue to be the best Garrison combo or legion in Call of Dragons. So this is my overview over the new heroes presented in Call of Dragons. I think they're very nice. I have a great hope in these heroes, even though that I'm not cavalry main, but I really know a lot of cavalry mains. As I mentioned, I know the top cavalry players in Call of Dragons, and I always, you know, speak with them about some heroes. If I get some question from some viewer about the cavalry, because I'm not like 100% with these things. So yeah, I'm definitely going to gather some information, so don't forget to subscribe to this channel from the top tier players in Call of Dragons. And yeah, so far I wish you a great day. This is going to be for this video. Like, subscribe, become a member. See you in the next video.